Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward.
There are some bars that if they find out that a crowd is from Spokane, they will strongly encourage them to leave.
In February, Washington bars closed temporarily during the pandemic, so many people went to Coeur d'Alene where the bars stayed open. This, along with over-service, according to police, led to a surge in alcohol-related crimes in downtown Coeur d'Alene.
But now the Coeur d'Alene Police Department says things are much better. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is joining us live from Coeur d'Alene tonight on how they made it happen. Amanda?
Back in February, the Coeur d'Alene Police Department had to increase enforcement here in downtown Coeur d'Alene, and that's because they were seeing an uptick in alcohol-related crimes here in the area. Now, 9 months later, the situation has improved, and that's because the police department formed a partnership with owners of the bars in this area.
Coeur d'Alene Police Chief Lee White said 4 bars in particular, Mix, the Beacon, the Moose Lounge, and the Iron Horse, were the most popular locations for alcohol-related calls. Those 4 establishments alone received 122 calls in the first 2 months of the year.
Because we had to spend so much time in the downtown area dealing with those alcohol and violent crime-related issues, we weren't able to provide service to the rest of the city like we would normally do.
Captain Jeff Walther said increased population on weekends and over-service at bars were the main contributing factors to the surge in calls. As police work to curb these crimes, Walther says they found that some bars did not have training or resources to understand when someone was overserved. So the department started meeting regularly with the bar owners and formed a partnership that would eventually stop overservice.
Not overreaching as a government entity was important to us, and so really getting them sit down and giving them ideas on what modeled success looked like, what different environmental things that they could do to curb that crime and help us. Establishing communication not with just the police department but between each other when they have a problem, to let the neighboring bar know, hey, we just had this problem, they're headed your way.
When the situation was at its worst, Coeur d'Alene City Council made disorderly conduct illegal. This gave police an additional tool to curb alcohol-related crimes, but Captain Walther believes the relationships the department built with the bar owners made the biggest impact.
They have better business models in place. Their violent crime is down. Our violent crime is down. And it's a safer place to be than it was.
Now, the downtown bars impacted by this situation agree that things are much better now. Now, the owners did not want to talk on camera, but I did speak over the phone with the owner of the Moose Lounge, and he believes that communication and reinforcing policies have made the downtown much more safe and fun than they were before. Reporting in downtown Coeur d'Alene, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you very much. Let's talk weather. We've been having some rain this week, but it's the weekend now, so that's cause to celebrate.
Yes, it is. Let's find out if we're going to have rain over the weekend. Michelle Boss, I know, has the answers. Hi, Michelle.
For part of the weekend, did you know that November is the second rainiest month of the year, second only to December, and we've seen at least a trace of precipitation every single day so far this month, and today no exception. 307 inches at the Spokane airport so far today. Still having to update these rain totals as we're still seeing rainfall, at least in the Spokane Valley. Luckily, Amanda Rowley didn't look like she was under too heavy a shower there. Deer Park, 800ths of an inch, Omak, 200ths, Sandpoint, 800ths, and Coeur d'Alene, 500ths of an inch so far. You can still see some lingering showers. Finally pushing out of the Spokane area, pushing east back into the Spokane Valley, Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, and across the rest of North Idaho. We'll likely see some lingering showers through the early evening hours. So if you're outside for high school football in Spokane, the city, probably pretty dry, but areas eastward might still see a little bit of light rain out there. 47 in Spokane, 46 in Coeur d'Alene, where it's been a little bit drier this afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s in Moses Lake. It's 51 in Lewiston. The next 12 hours, a few sprinkles, but things should be drying out for later this evening. More rain is on the way, though, for tomorrow. Mainly valley rain showers, but should see some snow above 3,000 feet. Highs in the upper 40s on Saturday. Sunday, mainly dry day, but mostly cloudy, high 46.
Michelle, thank you very much. Well, Spokane is getting its own professional soccer team now. The question is, though, from what league? In 2020, USL Soccer announced plans to bring a men's and women's team to town.
Well, but now there's a complication. Another organization actually wants to bring in a different league to town. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is explaining how this definitely is complicating things. Hi, Kyle.
Hey. Well, there can only be one team, and for the past year and a half, USL Spokane seemed to have secured its spot. They were even invited to be part of the new downtown stadium design process. Now, Brett Sports, the organization that owns the Spokane Chiefs and Spokane Indians, has confirmed they are exploring bringing a different soccer league to Spokane. Brett Sports envisions a type of MLS farm team which would develop talent for larger markets. Brett Sports wouldn't talk on camera, but did give us this statement saying, "We are very excited about the possibility of partnering with the MLS and Public Facilities District. As is the case with our other teams, the Spokane Indians and the Spokane Chiefs, our goal is to provide affordable entertainment for the Spokane community." But USL Spokane argues its team would be built for Spokane by Spokane.
And our objective isn't to develop talent that's going to be in a faraway market. Our objective is to develop talent here with our own community, and our players will live here, their families will be here, and they will be a part of us.
Now, each organization will make a pitch to the facilities district, who will have the final say. That decision will come before the end of the year. Organizations will have to demonstrate their experience, financial abilities, and other qualifications in running a professional soccer team.
Kyle, thank you very much. An 18-year-old University High School student has been arrested for making threats. Classes were canceled at the high school today after threats that someone was going to shoot up the school were passed around on social media.
So the school originally just delayed classes by 2 hours, but ended up canceling class altogether. Deputies received that tip early this morning, and investigators never found a specific threat from the student about shooting the school, but they did say they did find evidence the teenager had threatened to kill a 16-year-old classmate. He was arrested this afternoon and booked into the Spokane County Jail on felony harassment, threat to kill. Well, another student was also arrested today for making a threat at a school in Medical Lake. Earlier this week, a student had notified a school resource officer of another student's possible social media threats. Police say they did also find evidence that he had been researching ways to carry out an attack at the school. Now, during a search, police say they found no weapons at his home or anything indicating that an actual attack was imminent. Right now, that suspect is in the juvenile detention center.
So to come on KREM 2 News at 5 tonight, we have the details on the Department of Transportation's staffing shortages and how it'll impact drivers this winter. And all next week in our Boomtown coverage, we are covering the rapid growth in the Inland Northwest every day next week, we'll bring you a story exploring the impact and possible solutions. Monday night at 6, we go to Coeur dAlene, where one woman and her partner wanted to buy a house in their hometown. Jamie Main was born and raised in Coeur dAlene, and she and her boyfriend Aaron were going through the steps of trying to buy a house when the pandemic started in 2020. With the job market tanking and the housing market taking off at a meteoric rate, the couple faced a difficult decision: wait and hope the housing market cools off, or find a new city to live in. So all next week in our Boomtown coverage.